Yes, guys, yes, people, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Welcome back to Elijah Talks Football. It's your boy Elijah here, and it's time to do another Premier prediction. But usually I do this every Thursday, but now there's midweek games in the Premier League. It's now today. Today's the Tuesday, and there's gonna be lots and lots of games to be covering. There's 3 games today, 5 tomorrow, and only one on Thursday. So the first time this season there will be Premier League midweek games because we're in the festive season. The one up to Christmas and the New Year. So it's going to be a very very busy week for teams, especially teams who are still in the Carabao Cup and still playing in Europe. Chelsea. Particularly that's the club I support. We've got 8 games. From Leeds United away tomorrow on until the Bournemouth at home on the 30th of December. 8 games. That is a lot, That is a lot. But there's not going to be any rest for Chelsea, and including the likes of Arsenal, Man City, all of these teams that saw in the Carabao Cup and still in Europe. So there's not going to be any place of rest. But we'll see how teams go to the one up to Christmas and the New Year. So yeah, so today I'm gonna give you guys a bit of reaction to what happened last week, and I'll give you guys the prediction for this week. So game week number 14. So make sure you guys like, share, comment, subscribe, hit the bell notification as well. And also I'll hype this video if you also enjoyed it as well, on the road to 1K as usual. So hopefully I can get it as soon as possible. So if you guys can subscribe to my channel, then that would be great. And if I can get at least 1K before the new year, then that would be a fantastic. I don't think I'll do it, but if you guys could do that for me, then that would be epic. So yeah, so 200, less than 200 more until I reach 1K. So make sure you guys keep on subscribing to my YouTube channel. All right, without wasting any more time, let's go. So the first game of the Premier League midweek game is Bournemouth versus Everton. Of course, Bournemouth. What was their last game? I'm trying to remember. Oh yeah, Bournemouth lost 3-2 away to Sunderland. And that game was absolutely epic. Bournemouth were 2-0 up. They were 2-0 up in this game. And we all thought to ourselves, can Bournemouth be the only team to beat Sunderland at the Stadium of Light? But the answer is no, because they bowled it. They bowled it. From 2-0 up, they lost 3-2, and they got the man sent off. You know what I mean? So Bournemouth bottled that game. Bottled that game. They were 2-0 up. I forgot to score that wonder goal for Bournemouth. Let me just have a quick look. It was Tyler Adams. Yeah, look at that. First 50 minutes into the game, they were 2-0 up. 2-0 up. Tyler Adams scored a wicked goal. Lewis Cook got, a red card, both bookings, and he will miss the Everton game. Yeah, like we all thought that Bournemouth might stun the Stadium of Light, but they absolutely bowled it. They really did. So, whereas for Everton, my goodness me, after going down to 10 men and beat Man United at Old Trafford for the first time since 2013, and also David Moyes, getting his first win as a visiting manager at Old Trafford, after that win, we all thought that, yeah, Everton, they should win this game because Newcastle's away from home record in the league is not that great. No wins at all. But my goodness me, Everton, like, how can you go from beating Man United at Old Trafford where you're down to 10 men and lose 4-1, 4-1 at your new stadium? 4-1, and it could have been more, And not only did Everton get battered, but they have allowed Newcastle to get their first ever away Premier League win this season. That's absolutely embarrassing for Everton, Like, if this was at St. James Park, I understand. But Everton getting battered at the Hill Dickinson Stadium, their new stadium, is unbelievable. But that's the second loss at their new stadium. Tottenham were the first team to do it. Now it's Newcastle's turn. Boy, oh boy. Everton, man, I don't know what's going on, but it's going to be a tricky test for them because They got away to Bournemouth, who I think still hasn't lost at home this season because their last game they drew 2-2 against West Ham. I think that's it. So yeah, Bournemouth at home, they're a very difficult team. They really are. So for me, Everton, I feel like I think Bournemouth are going to win this game because they were 2-0 up. Everton scored the goal after they were 4-0 down. So that's why I think for me that Everton will win this game. Sorry, Bournemouth will win this game because they're at home. Everton right now, the way they got destroyed, I don't think Bournemouth are going to do the same thing, but I just feel like Bournemouth are going to win this game. I feel like they're going to put more misery. So for this game, I'm going to go for, I'm going to go 3-1 to Bournemouth. Actually, yeah, no, let me not change it. Let me not change it. Let me not change it. I'm going to stick to the 3-1 because Bournemouth, they will bounce back. I still think they'll beat at home. Of course, they did come back 2-0 down against West Ham, so there we go. But I think Bournemouth will get the job done because Everton right now, I would have thought, yeah, they will beat Newcastle, but nah, they didn't. So it's another tough test for Everton. So yeah, 3-1 to Bournemouth. I think Semedo's gonna score. Tyler Adams, for Everton. I might go for Beto to score for Everton. So yeah, 3-1 to Bournemouth is gonna be my prediction for that game. Then the next game, of course, is Fulham versus Man City. Now, of course, Fulham, managed to beat Tottenham at White Hart Lane for the first time since 2013. And Fulham are still unbeaten against Tottenham. Like Tottenham simply cannot beat Everton in the league. I can't remember the last time they ever beat Everton in the league. It's absolutely crazy. But Fulham, after Richarlison scored, we all thought that the way Sunderland, the way Bournemouth balled it when they were 2-0 up, can Fulham do the same thing? And the answer is no. So fair play to Fulham. But for Man City, though, my goodness me, they were lucky. So lucky to win this game. Because the first half, Man City were the better team. Leeds had no answer. In the second half, Daniel Farker decides to change the tactics, and Leeds United, were the better team. From 2-0 down, they leveled it up, and we all thought to ourselves, can Leeds, add more misery to a Man City? But no. Phil Foden managed to score late on to make it 3-2. And yeah, he scored 2 goals. People asked me if Phil Foden was back, and I said not yet. If Foden can perform well consistently and score goals, then maybe he's back. But for now, no, he's not back. But yeah, Man City got the win. They are 3 points. 4 points. No, actually 5 points behind Arsenal. If they beat Fulham today, they'll be 2 points below Arsenal. So Man City have got to win this game. But it ain't going to be that easy though, because Fulham at Craven Cottage can be a very difficult team. They beat Sunderland in their last game, so it ain't going to be that easy. But I just think for me that Man City will get this win. It all depends on how they turn up. But I feel like I don't think Fulham particularly have a good record against Man City. I really don't think so. That's why I think City will have the edge. So I'm gonna go 2-1 Man City. It ain't gonna be easy. It really ain't gonna be that easy. But I think Man City will just about get the job done. See, I'm gonna go 2-1 to City. Goal scorers for Fulham, maybe Wilson. For Man City, I'm gonna go for Phil Foden to score and Erling Haaland to score. So yeah, 2-1 to Man City. Ain't gonna be that easy, but I think they'll get the job done. They will do. Right, the next game, of course, is not particularly the big one, but it is a huge game. Newcastle versus Tottenham Hotspur. Of course, I talked about Newcastle putting 4 past Everton at the Hill Dickinson Stadium. They deserve to win. But for Tottenham Hotspur, my goodness me, only one win at home this season. One. And that was the opening day of the season against Burnley. Like Tottenham, when it comes to playing at home, they're awful. Away from home, they've only lost one game, and I was away at the Emirates. Like, I don't know what's going on with Tottenham this season, and I want to say this to Tottenham fans, yeah? It's not all of you, but for some, I heard some people saying they want Thomas Frank out, and I'm thinking, why you want Thomas Frank out? Yes, I know, your home form hasn't been that great this season. But if I'm looking at the table right now, Tottenham, give me a second, guys. Let me just get the table up. Tottenham, um, yeah, look at this. Tottenham are in 12th. They are in 12th. Do not get me wrong. But they're 6 points behind fourth place. If Tottenham, I don't think they'll beat Newcastle, but let's say they do, and let's say the other teams above them drop points, then they can close the gap. It's match day 13. The season's not over yet. Yes, the points, 18 points, it's not that great. But let's say if Tottenham continue to lose games and they drop further down below the table, and let's say they go to the relegation zone, then I understand that. I understand that they want Thomas Frank out. But the season's not yet done. We haven't gone into Christmas or the New Year or the January transfer window. We haven't even gone into half of the Premier League matches, and they want Thomas Frank out. It makes no sense. And also the Tottenham fans that booed for Cario every time it's on the ball, that's an absolute disgrace. Absolute disgrace. If I heard Chelsea fans do that, then they're a disgrace as well. Like, come on. I know Vicario made an error, for that second goal. I know he was horrific, but come on, support the man. Yes, he's may not be a good enough goalkeeper for you lot, but come on, support him. As fans, you should be supporting your club. You can't boo. If you want to, I understand if you want to boo the opposition. You know what I mean. But booing your own players makes no sense, and you're gonna make it worse and worse and worse. So every time Vicario on the ball, Tottenham fans were just booing at him. Yes, I understand you're frustrated that, he made an absolute howler for the second goal, but come on, man. You're 2-0 down. You still got plenty of time to win this game. And it did not help him. So, for me, Tottenham fans, I feel like they might be the worst fan base ever. Thomas Frank out, booing for Vicario, and all that stuff. It makes no sense to me. It really makes no sense. But, yeah, Tottenham lost at home. And I think they're going to lose a game because Tottenham, it's not that long that these two played in the Carabao Cup, and Newcastle beat them. So I think Newcastle are going to beat them again. And by the way, I've got Newcastle in my final one standing because they always beat Tottenham as a James Park. So there you go. So yeah, for this game, yeah, Newcastle are definitely going to put Tottenham in a spliff there. Big, 3-1 to Newcastle, 3-1. Tottenham, they're just terrible right now. And by the way, both teams are on the same points. And if Newcastle beat them, and let's say if Tottenham do lose this game, and let's say the likes of Everton and Fulham win their game, Tottenham could be in 15th. They could potentially be 15th if Newcastle, Everton, and Fulham win their game. They'll be in 15th, and that's absolutely crazy. Absolutely crazy. Now, like I said, it's crazy to think that you want Thomas Frank out after a great start he had. But let's say that Tottenham keep losing games and and let's say they're in a relegation zone, then I understand. But let's say that Tottenham beat Newcastle and all the teams above them drop points, then they'll be 3 points behind the top four. It's absolutely crazy right now. But yeah, I see Tottenham losing this game. So yeah, 3-1 to Newcastle. Goal scorers: Anthony Gordon, Joe Linton, and Valverde for Tottenham, maybe with Charlison. So yeah, 3-1 to Newcastle. I see Tottenham getting battered like they usually do at St. James Park. So yeah, 3-1. Right, Wednesday's games, and there's five of them. And we're going to start off with Arsenal against Brentford. Of course, Brentford got that 3-1 win against Burnley, which I got it spot on. For Arsenal, they draw against 10 men rivals at Stamford Bridge. So there we go. But yeah, Arsenal, they're still unbeaten. Ever since that 1-0 loss against Liverpool away from home, they're still 5 points clear at the top, and they have to win this game because they know, yeah, if Man City beat Fulham today and also drop points tomorrow against Brentford, then they're under some serious pressure. So Arsenal have to win this game. They really have to. But they're at home, so they'll win. But it ain't gonna be that easy because Brentford beat Man United. They beat Liverpool. They drew against Chelsea. They only lost to Man City, and that's basically it. Brentford have only lost against one big six team, and that was Man City. That's the only team. If they didn't lose that game, they would have been unbeaten. You know what I mean? So for me, there's no Thomas Frank. I mean, Rob Edwards is doing a fantastic job. Fantastic job, because I would have thought that Brentford may finish 17th, but look at Brentford, they're in 10th. They're in 10th. It's absolutely crazy, but I think Arsenal will return back to winning ways. They will do, because in the last three games, they've only one out of three, because they drew to Sunderland away, they beat Tottenham, which they already do, and they drew away to Stamford Bridge. So I think Arsenal will bounce back. They will bounce back, and yeah, we'll see, man. We will see. So for this game, I'm gonna go for an Arsenal win. Mm, I'm gonna go 2-0 Arsenal. I'm gonna go 2-0 Arsenal. I think they'll keep a clean sheet, because the last three games, actually the four games in all competitions, they failed to keep a clean sheet. But I feel like the clean sheet will happen. Maybe Brentford might score, because I feel like for Arsenal, the one thing they should worry about Brentford is throw-ins. Because Brentford have scored the most goals from throw-ins this season. So that's the one thing Arsenal really need to concentrate on. If William Saliba can't be available for this game, then that's good. But if not, then maybe they might concede. Maybe. But I think Arsenal will win this game. Because Brentford don't have the good record against Arsenal. Only one win, and that was in 2021, just like Chelsea. So yeah, Brentford, I feel like it's going to be another loss to them. So yeah, 2-0 to Arsenal. 2-0 to Arsenal. Goals, Mika Moreno and Bukayo Saka to score. So yeah, 2-0 to Arsenal. They'll definitely win that game, and they'll definitely get that clean sheet back as well. So yeah, 2-0 to Arsenal. Right, the next game, boy, it's going to be a very good one. Very good one to watch. Brighton versus Villa. Of course, both teams did win on match day 13. Of course, Brighton, which I didn't expect them to win at the City Ground. They managed to do that. Aston Villa, I did expect them to win, but I watched that game, and they've even struggled to break down Wolves. I understand they played on the Thursday, but you're at home. Like, you're not supposed to be struggling against Wolves, because Wolves this season still haven't got to win, and I'll get to them in just a minute. They still haven't got to win. You know what I mean? So, but listen, it's going to be a very interesting one, because both teams are in good form. Of course, Brighton did manage to get that win against Brentford, but if I think if Igor Jesus would have scored that penalty, I'd have got my prediction spot on, 2-2. So hopefully, both teams don't let me down. So yeah, I was thinking of a Brighton win, but Aston Villa are really good form. I mean, if you look at the table right now, Villa in fourth place. Fourth place. After 5 games without a win in the Premier League, they went out in fourth place. 7 wins, 3 draws, and 3 defeats, and they're in fourth place. You know, that's not bad, under Unai Emery. After that pressure, he's starting to get back on form. So for this game, I'm looking forward to it. I'm going to go for a 2-2 draw for this one. I know I said that in the Brentford game, but like I said, if he would have scored that penalty, Igor Jesus, I would have gone the 3 points. So hopefully, this game actually ends in a 2-2 draw. Otherwise, I just give up. I really do just give up. But yeah, I'm going to go 2-2. Both teams are in good form. Brighton at home this season, still unbeaten. You know what I mean? So yeah, I'm going to go for 2-2 draw. Goal scorer for Brighton, Matoma and Danny Welbeck. For Aston Villa, I'm gonna go for Buendia and who else? Maybe Jadon Sancho. See, I'm gonna go for a 2-2 draw. Should be a really, really good game to watch. Yeah, I'm gonna go for a 2-2 draw in that one. Right, the next one is Burnley versus Palace. Of course, Burnley lost 3-1, which I did predict, in that game, and they had, when it was 1-1, I thought, my days, can Brentford please get me the 3 points? And they did. So, Burnley, yeah, another loss for them. But for Crystal Palace, though, they played Man United, and they've lost for the first time, I believe, since 2022. They finally, Crystal Palace have lost. And like I said, yeah, I feel like for me, if I was a Crystal Palace fan, I'll be fuming because I don't know why that time was at 12 o'clock, where usually should be at 2 p.m. And maybe Man United could have won this game, but for me, that 12 p.m. was an absolute disgrace. But they've lost. But listen, they go away to Burnley, which is a difficult place to go to. But teams are managed to get the win and also keep a clean sheet. So I think for me, Crystal Palace will get this win and add more misery to Burnley. So yeah, for this game tomorrow, 2-0 Palace. 2-0 Palace. They'll definitely bounce back. They will. They will. Because Burnley this season hasn't been that great. And like I said, Wolves, Burnley, and maybe Leeds United will be the teams that will get relegated for me. Sunderland will definitely stay up. They will do. So yeah, 2-0 to Burnley. Sorry, 2-0 to Palace is my prediction. Goal scorers, definitely Jon Philip Mateta and Sarr to score. So yeah, 2-0 to Palace. They'll get the win and they'll get a clean sheet. So there we go. So yeah, 2-0 to Palace. Right, the next game is another easy one to predict is Wolves versus Forest. Of course, Wolves did lose 2-0 at home to Brighton, but for Wolves, they've lost away to Villa in the West Midlands derby. So listen, Rob Edwards, you know, um, would have thought they would done a good job for Wolves, but they simply cannot get this win. I don't know where the wins are going to come from, but simply cannot get this win. So for this game, I think Forest are going to win this game. They are definitely going to win this game for me. So I'm gonna go for I'm gonna go for 2-0 Forest. 2-0 Forest. They're gonna add more misery to Wolves. So yeah, 2-0 Forest. Goal scorers, kind of hot to the door, and I forgot who is the striker. Um, Thiago, yeah, Thiago, and maybe Canal to the door will score for Nottingham Forest. Yeah, 2-0, 2-0 to Nottingham Forest. They will get this win for me. They will definitely get this win. Right, the next one is Leeds United versus Chelsea. Now, it's a big game. The rivalry. Both teams hate each other. But yeah, listen. I'm not going to talk about this too much because I will be doing the preview that will be released later today or possibly tomorrow. So make sure you guys tune in. But yeah, after I thought Chelsea get the win against Arsenal, Caicedo let me down. He really let me down. But listen, he will miss that game. But let's hope that Andrew Santos doesn't do the similar thing that Caicedo did against Arsenal. I hope he doesn't do this exact same thing. But I'm gonna back my boys to win, but it ain't gonna be that easy. It really ain't. So yeah, I'm gonna go 2-1 Chelsea. 2-1 Chelsea. We'll definitely continue to score in and we're definitely gonna bounce back. We are gonna bounce back, but it ain't gonna be that easy because Daniel Farkas also sees pressure like I knew he would. At Leeds United are fighting for their lives, so ain't gonna be that easy. But I'm backing Chelsea to win this game 2-1. Goal scorer for Leeds, maybe Dominic Calvert-Lewin. For Chelsea, I'm gonna go Enzo Fernandez to score and Estevao to score. So yeah, 2-1 Chelsea. It's gonna be my prediction for that game tomorrow. Live watch along and match action will be out as well. So make sure you guys tune in. Right, the next game is Liverpool versus Sunderland. Of course, both teams won their last game. Of course, Liverpool managed to get that, finally won. But it's away to West Ham, But for Sunderland, they made a classic comeback from 2-0 down. They won 3-2. So there we go. But listen, it's good that Liverpool can got that win against West Ham, but for me at Anfield they're still poor. They are still poor. They've lost to Man United. They lost to Crystal Palace in the Carabao Cup, to Nottingham Forest, and to PSV. So Anfield this season hasn't been that great. And I've seen a stat that says Liverpool have have the same amount of losses this season than Klopp did at Anfield in his career. It's absolutely crazy right now. So listen, even though I think Liverpool should win this, are gonna win this game, I still cannot back them because every time I back Liverpool to win, they lose. So for me, I feel like Sunderland will cause a shock. Because Sunderland so far against the Big Six hasn't been that bad. They beat Chelsea. That was on my birthday. They drew to Arsenal. Who else? Actually, they did lose to Man United, but that was only their first loss against the Big Six. So there we go. But yeah, Sunderland for me, they're definitely winning this game. They really are because it's at Anfield. It used to be a tough place, but not anymore. But yeah, 2-1 Sunderland. They're definitely going to win this game. And they're going to add more mystery to Slot. Because yeah, it's good that he beat West Ham, but can he do that against Sunderland, who are a very good team? We shall wait and see, man. But yeah, 2-1 Sunderland. They're definitely winning this game. The only goal scorer for Liverpool is probably Mo Salah. For Sunderland, maybe Granit Xhaka and I don't know who else, but yeah, 2-1 Sunderland. 2-1 Sunderland. They're definitely winning this game. They're definitely winning this game because every time I pick Liverpool to win, they let me down. They really do let me down. So yeah, 2-1 Sunderland is my prediction. And then the final one is Manchester United versus West Ham United, of course. Man United finally beat Crystal Palace, like I said. First half they were poor. Second half they were so much better. But for West Ham, they did lose at home under Nuno, but that was against Liverpool. And yeah, funny enough, yeah, the last time these two teams met, West Ham got that 1-0 win away from home. But that was the time where Man United had the worst season. They finished 15th. It's actually, was it 15th or 12th or something like that? But listen, I know that Man United are looking for revenge, and also Man United did lose at home to Everton, but they were down to 10 men. So for me, yeah, I feel like it's Nuno. Don't think he has a good record against Man United. So I think Man United will bounce back and they will win at home. Like I thought they will do against Everton. And Man United have to win this game because I would have thought they'll beat Everton. But Man United, man, it's good they beat Crystal Palace. But if you don't beat West Ham, then what's the point? What is the point? If you can't beat West Ham at home. So I think Man United will win this game. So yeah, I'm gonna go 2-1 to Man United. Goal scorers, I'm gonna go for let's say Bremo to score and maybe Bruno Fernandes. For West Ham, I'm gonna go for Jared Bowen. So yeah, 2-1 to Man United. They'll win at Old Trafford, like they should have done against the Everton. So there we go. But yeah, people, that's all my Premier predictions. Let me go for them one more time. So today's games, I've gone for a Bournemouth 3-1 win against Everton, 2-1 Man City win against Fulham, and a 3-1 Newcastle win against Tottenham. Then tomorrow's games on Wednesday, I've gone for an Arsenal 2-0 win against Brentford, a 2-2 draw between Brighton and Aston Villa, then a 2-0 Palace win against Burnley, a 2-0 Forest win against Wolves, then a 2-1 Chelsea win against Leeds United, and then a shock 2-1 Sunderland win against Liverpool, and last and not least, a 2-1 Manchester United home win against West Ham United. So that's all my Premier predictions for game week number 14. And that is it, people. For the first time this season, Premier League matches, in midweek starts this week. So, it's going to be a very, very busy Premier League week in a one up to Christmas and the New Year. But listen, people, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. And if you have done so already, like the video if you haven't done it. Subscribe to my YouTube channel, Light Talks Football. Click the subscribe button below. Hit the bell notification as well because match preview will be out. Live photo and match action as well for Leeds United versus Chelsea. And yeah, share this video to everybody so that they can put their predictions as well. Don't forget to hype this video if you have done so. Leave your thoughts and feelings in the comments below. And yeah, just let me know if you agree or disagree with any of my predictions. And yeah, who do you think is going to win? Do you think it's going to be a draw? And let me know the reason why. But anyway, people, enjoy the rest of your Premier League games this week. And I'm going to see you guys again very soon. Take care. Goodbye. God bless. And I'm out of here. Peace.